This is the first video on Pythagoras for Year 9 Theta classes. What I would like you to do is read the knowledge organiser. Watch this video and use it to work through the examples on page 1. Try the questions from page 2 of your knowledge organiser and complete any maths watch work set. So what you are going to be doing today and over the next week is looking at Pythagoras' theorem and finding out our missing side in a right angle triangle when you are given two of the sides. So Pythagoras' theorem, you should have seen or heard before, is h squared equals a squared plus b squared. Sometimes you see it as c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now, h does not represent the height. It represents the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So h or c always represents the longest side. This faces the right angle diagonally. So if that helps you determine that side, it's always the same. To find the length, we have to always label that. So if you notice, I'm labeling that h or c because it's up to you which one you're going to use. I'm going to use c in my formula because personally I prefer c squared equals a squared plus b squared. But if you want to do h squared equals a squared plus b squared, that is up to you. Both are the same, just sometimes you see it as c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Anyway, on to the example. So it doesn't matter which way round you label a and b. So I'm going to label it the same as the example for the rule for the formula up here. But if you wanted to label it like that, a and b, it doesn't matter. Okay, the reason for that is because you're always adding these two sides together after you have squared them. So it doesn't matter which way around you do that because you get the same answer every time. So what we do is, and I'm just going to relabel that to how I had it originally. What happens is we say our longest side, which I'm going to now label as x squared, and we square our 4 and we square our 7, and then we add these together. So 4 squared is 16, 7 squared is 49, and then I add that together and it gives me 65. Okay. What I then do is I want to work out the square root of that so that I have the length of x on its own. So I square root 65. If I square root 65, it gives me 8.0622, and it goes on for a lot longer than that. So my final answer to 2 decimal places is 8.06 centimeters. So that's how we would use Pythagoras. Now you can condense this. You don't have to necessarily have all of this wrote at the top. The key thing is that you have this line here in where it says x squared equals 4 squared at 7 squared. You don't have to necessarily have the 16 plus 49. You can jump straight to working out that it's 65. I'd like to see this line of working out down here and your final answer because you do get marks for showing you're working out. The key thing to remember for Pythagoras is that it is the square of the two shorter sides add together to give you the square of the longest side. So you square your two shorter sides and they add together to give you your longer side, and then you square root that answer. What I would like you to do is try the questions on page 2. They're all similar to this, and then complete any maths watch work set by your class teacher. Thank you.